She runs over to her daughter, grabs her by the hair, and just smacks the shit out of her. And I was like, oh.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear.
What's up, YouTube? It's a girl, Taylor Petty Gang. You heard me, and I'm finally back with another story time. I don't have much time to waste. I have to hurry up and go to work in like less than 30 minutes, so the story time has to go rapid fast. But the reason I'm making this today is because it's literally almost Halloween. This should be up before Halloween, but if not, it'll be really close to it. And this story time happened literally 2 years ago on Halloween. So I'm just gonna hurry up and jump into it. This is a Halloween story time, okay? So 2 years ago, Halloween night, me and two of my friends, let's call them Becky and Jasmine, right? So Becky and Jasmine, they could drive, whatever. Well, Jasmine could drive. And Becky invited me to go with them to this Halloween party. And I was like, merch, bet. I don't have nothing else to do, right? So I went. And the whole time, like, let me tell you, it was literally like, at first I thought it was going to be so dry because literally everybody was like younger than me by like a year or two. So I was kind of like, who the hell wants to go to this party? Not me. And keep in mind, Jasmine's a year older than me. So it's like a year older. Becky's my age. So like we're all going and we're like a couple years older than these kids. So I was kind of like, this seems kind of like lame as fuck. But I'm going to go and see what's up because I have nothing else to do. So that's what was going on. And then we finally get there after like being in the fucking car for like 30 minutes. And literally it's like 10 minutes away from our house. But we couldn't figure out how to get there because it was this like strange ass neighborhood. And didn't have time. But we finally got there. We get there. And of course I see some girls I know, right? And I'm not really cool with them like that. But like it's not a problem or nothing. But I'm just kind of like, bro, I don't really like them. They're fucking annoying. But that's just how I am. But they liked me, so they were like, Taylor. And I was like, hi. Just kidding, my fake ass. I was like, hi, girl, hi. I was just ready for like a good night, and I didn't want there to be any drama, especially because I don't know whose house this is, whatever, right? So we're all cooling, chilling, and keep in mind, this all happens within like 5 minutes of us being here. 5 fucking minutes. So we're walking all up around the house, and we look, and we see, there's like Jello shots, there's bottles everywhere, and all these kids are already lit. Like, I don't even know what time we got there. Let's say that we got there like 10 o'clock and the party started like an hour before that. Everybody was already gone. Like, they were messed up. So I'm sitting there looking like, this looks like it's about to be a whole lot of mess. Like, something in me just told me not to drink because it was about to be a whole lot of mess. Everybody else was already messed up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to drink. Like, I don't have time for this. But we have bought our own bottle, right? So Becky and Jasmine start chugging it. They're taking shots back to back. And then eventually I'm like, okay, let me get one. I want one. But at this time I wasn't a very big drinker, so like one was like, it wasn't gonna do much, but I was already kind of like, yeah, I don't want to drink. Plus that was nasty as hell because it was Fedka, like the blue raspberry one, and nobody has time for that. Who does that? Don't ever drink that. That is gross. So we're just going on about our day. We're trying to listen to music, but like whole time I'm like, who the hell is the DJ? Because this shit is whack. So all of a sudden we see, oh, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but when we walked in, there was throw up from the top of the stairs all the way to the bottom. And when you hit the bottom, there was like a wall and there was throw up all over the wall. So like I was like scared because I was like, bro, I don't want to take off my shoes, but it's a house party. So like I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I was like, I'm not walking up here and throw up, sorry. So I had my shoes on. And so this whole time I'm just sitting there and I'm wondering who the hell threw up. And then all of a sudden, this dude comes out. And he is blasted. Like, blasted. He cannot walk. He has, like, 2 girls carrying him. And he is, like, completely unconscious. And I'm like, dude, what's wrong with him? Like, he's completely unconscious. So what happens? The 2 girls that were carrying him down the stairs literally just, like, shove him down the stairs. Don't know why. I couldn't tell you what happened. All I know is I see him just like go down. He bangs his head and everything. And I was like, bro, what the? And I'm looking at them, and they're just like, and then she's like, oh my God, Sarah, like just doing too much. And I'm like, can you guys just go pick him up? Like, y'all just shoved him down the stairs though. So they go grab him, and then they're like, I guess we're about to take him home. But he's literally like completely unconscious at this point. Like, he's like knocked out. So they take him outside, and they can't like carry him to the car. And there's snow on the ground at this point. Like, it was only Halloween, but as you can see, like this year there's fucking snow when it's not even Halloween at all. So welcome to Minnesota. So that happens, and all of a sudden, I'm like hearing screams from outside. Like, I had thought they left, right? No, I just started hearing screaming. And they're like, oh my God. Like, let's call him like Jacob. Jacob, wake up, wake up. And like, I guess what happened was, it's like, dude was not breathing, but they had him laid out in the snow with no coat on, nothing. Knocked out, drunk as hell, just in the snow. And they're like trying to like administer mouth to mouth on him. And I'm like, that shit's not gonna work. Get him inside. But the owner of the house didn't want him to come back inside, because they're like, if he's dead, I don't want him at my house. Like, I'm like, you dumb. Like, he's still on your fucking porch. You're still responsible. And I guess eventually, like, I don't even know who called the cops or anything, but I know the cops showed up a couple minutes later, and they had locked the door on the two girls and the Jacob kid that was outside. So they're just sitting out there, and like, I think one of them probably called the police. The police showed up, and they're like trying to get in the house. They're banging, but like, I'm scared because I'm not supposed to be here. Everybody else is scared. So we start running. Like, we're all running down the stairs and hiding in the basement where there's no windows. But then there is a window in this one person's room in the house. So like, dudes were trying to like the cops were trying to break in that window. So I start running upstairs because I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to get in trouble. So we start hiding literally all the bottles. Like, all the bottles, we just start hiding them in cabinets and shit, right? And before we let the cops in, finally all the bottles are put away, and then the cops, like, we let the cops in, right? And they're like, what the hell is going on? That kid could have died. Why the fuck is the door locked? And I was like, yikes. Like, I felt bad for the guy, but I was kind of like, they got him. He's already good. Like, he's already at the cribbo, like, or he's at the hospital. Like, there's nothing more that we can do, even though they were messed up, because I just got here. Like, I don't know the kid. Like, I don't know. And I'm just kind of still in shock, because I'm like, all this just happened within literally like 10 minutes of us being here. Like, 10 minutes. So they're just like screaming at us, and they're like, he's drunk as hell. Who else has been drinking? Nobody says nothing. We're all just sitting there. There's like a group of like 20 kids just sitting on like the couches and stuff in the living room, and we're literally all just sitting there like, you been drinking? You been drinking? Me? Oh, no, I ain't been drinking. I don't know about y'all. They're like, well, nobody's leaving here until you take a breathalyzer. My ass hopped up so quick. Okay, let me tell y'all how quick I hopped up. I was like, I'll do it. Everybody looked at me and was like, and I was like, I'll do it. I know I'm gonna pass. And this comes like literally the year after like I had gotten in trouble for drinking on my birthday, and I was still on probation at this time. So I was like, I know I haven't been drinking, so I know I'm about to pass, and I'm not getting in no more trouble. So I was like, I will do it, I will do it, I will do it, right? Literally, they like start the breathalyzer, and I forgot that I had taken that one shot, so I was kind of scared, right? Once I realized, and then I was like, blue fat zeros. I was so happy, bro. Like, I was so happy. This was like the one time in my entire life that I was about to get in trouble, and really did not. I did not get in no trouble. I didn't have to call my parents, nothing. I had to call, or everybody else had to call somebody. We had to wait for Becky's mom to come pick us up because they failed and everything. And whole time, like, there's this other girl there, and I'm like, she's like, I can't call my mom. She's freaking out. So I'm like, call your sister. Just pretend to be her mom. Like, tell her they're in Arizona, because her sister lived in Arizona. So I'm like, tell her tell the cops that your mom's in Arizona, right? So to like let you go home to your aunt, and then have your sister pretend to be your aunt. And she was like, okay. So she tried it and it worked. And I'm like, she's like, thank you so much, thank you. And I was like, girl, I does this, don't play me. But then we are waiting and waiting and waiting. Everybody's parents are getting called. People are starting to leave. And I can go whenever, but my ride is Becky and Jasmine. And Becky and Jasmine can't leave. So I have to wait on them even though I'm free to go. So, whole time, right? All of a sudden, the parents of the house get here. The parents. And they walk in fumes blazing. Like, you could see it in their face. They were so mad. And when they finally like hit, because they looked at like their entryway, like I could see them because where I was standing was like by the stairs. So when they walked in, they could see me, I could see them, and I could tell they were pissed. But they like ignored me, started looking around their house, and was like, throw up here, throw up there, shoes everywhere. Man, when I tell you, her mom took flight, okay? Her mom up the stairs. She almost knocked me over. And she like brushes past me and looks in the living room. She immediately spots her daughter, whose house it is. And she's like, and just starts shaking. She was like, she turned to the cops and was like, how many kids were here? And they're like, probably a good 30, 40. She runs over to her daughter, grabs her by the hair, and just smacks the shit out of her. And I was like, oh! Jesus, did you see that? I know that had to hurt. And at that point, I was kind of like, bruh, it's time to go. It's time to dip a Rooney. And then the cops had to, like, literally grab the mom off of her. And so did the dad. And she was like, you little bitch. Like, just started screaming at her. She was like, everybody get the fuck out of my house. Now. And so, like, she just keeps screaming. And she's like, I don't care. Everybody can wait outside for their rides. Everybody get out. And she's, like, yelling at the cops, get out. Get out. And I'm just like, so me, Jasmine, and Becky, we hit them steps, okay? We was stepping up out of there. We didn't want none of that smoke, okay? So we're outside waiting. And finally, Becky's mom pulls up. And I guess the mom comes back outside. And she's like, do you know what your little whore daughter and her friends did to my house? And she just starts screaming. And I'm like, hold up. We've been here 10 minutes, shorty. 10 minutes. We just got here. We didn't do anything. And, like, I'm, like, at this point, I'm, like, getting annoyed because it's like I'm not in trouble. I don't want to be here anymore because, like, everybody, like, this whole party was a freaking bust. I just want to go home at this point because, like, now I'm just annoyed. So, and she's, like, screaming at us. She's like, your whore daughter and her whore friends. And, like, I was, like, I had it. I had enough. And I was like, you stupid bitch. And I just started screaming back at her, right? And she's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And I was like, you heard me? And, like, I just, like, kept screaming at her. And eventually Becky's mom was like, guys, just get in the car. Like, it's not even worth it. She's pissed off about her whore daughter. So just get in the car. Let's go. So we left, right? And, of course, Becky, like, didn't get in trouble because that's just how her mom was. Like, she just didn't care. She was glad that we called her. I didn't get in trouble. Nobody knew because, like I said, I didn't do anything. But that was the story time about how my Halloween was a total bust. So hopefully this year it'll be better. And I will give you an update of any stories because I plan to go to another Halloween party this year. And that's that. Bye.